I'm here to talk about Separate We Come, Separate We Go, which is a film that's going to be shot this year, 2011. It's a short film, part of the graduation programme of London College of Communication. The film is set in an area called Romney Marsh, which has a very resonant sort of connection to me and sort of my life, I guess you could say. It's a very unique area. It's a very open, amazing stretch of land on the east, in East Sussex, in England. It's got a very amazing filmic sort of quality that I wanted to capture and tell a story within the landscape. So I guess you could say that our location for the film is much of a character as the three other characters we have in the movie. So basically we follow the story of these two characters meeting each other and basically realising how different they are, but yet their characters, although so separated in age, she's wise for her years and she's sort of young for his years. So there's an amazing relationship that begins that we sort of follow, and it's basically the journey of her enlightenment, really, of a new way of thinking and a new way of looking at her future with a bit more hope and a bit more realisation that her life doesn't end at the end of her street. It sort of is the whole open world. So we use basically an occurrence in nature that inspires her to free her thoughts and free her body language. It's not a massively narratively based story, but it's just a simple story in the space of a short film to show a young girl who's so influenced by her mother's state, who realises there is actually a sense in herself that needs to be explored and released. I guess the reason why I'm telling this story and wanting it to share with an audience in a visual format is the area that we're filming, Romney Marsh, is an area that I've spent a lot of time when I was a child, specifically at the age of our character, who's 10. Growing up in a city in the capital, such as London, it's so much movement and it's so confined sometimes that as a child there's no feeling of a horizon, there's nothing beyond what you know. So for me, I was so lucky to have that experience of spending a lot of the time in open spaces such as the Romney Marshes, that I was able to gain that sense of feeling of beyond, and as a young child I was obsessed with horizons, and a lot of other things I've done have very much concentrated on that idea of time and of how the sea basically sort of shows a journey, and yet no matter what time we're in, what area we are in the world, there's still the crashing of the waves in every shoreline. So that's why it's basically based by the coast, because I think it's got such an amazing, it helps so much with the rhythm of storytelling, because it gives a rhythm to the film, which is the tide, which is the waves. And specifically in the area of Dungeness where I'm shooting, it's so unique, and it's sort of so perfect of the old and new. There's the old fishing families that have lived there for generations, and then there's new people like different artists, the first of which was Derek Jarman, who spent the last few years of his life there, who really sort of inspired other people in that area and inspired other people to sort of go and explore it. And it's an amazing place for artists, and a lot of people have studios there. And that's where the influence of the character, the male character, comes from. Because of the nature of this film and the fact that we really want to capture the colours, the emotions and the textures of the landscape, we're going to be shooting on 16mm, which we're all very excited about. If you want to find any more information about our project, it will be updated on our website, which is the title of the movie, separatewecome.com. We'll be updating it, and if you want to get involved in the process of this filmmaking, there's a page in which it talks about how you can get involved through sponsorships or through different sort of interests, really. So check it out, and